times thingy. Is it this? No, it's not this. That's for the... Why is that like... There it is. Save 10% off your entire order from thedragonstreasure.com. Use my code sawagrapesama and you too can sit there and sip tea like I'm doing right now. I have their Ultra Mint, I think it's called. Ultra Mint with super mint powers. I'm dying. I'm dying. I'm dying. Yeah, Gail made the animation thingy. It's so cute. And then the art, I think, is some of Hank's work. Yeah. Hank knows Sawa more than I know Sawa. It's the weirdest shit I've ever seen in my life. Time for bed then, Grandma. Never! Never! By the way, in the last stream you pronounced mispronounced Greenwich, Connecticut. Greenwich? Did I say Greenwich? What did I say? What did I say? I don't know what the fuck I said. That's the good thing about streaming. I don't have to remember what the fuck I said. I just say it, and then I go, oh, whoops. Whoopsie daisy. Sandwich. Greenwich. Greenwich? Oh, Greenwich Village. Why did I say Greenwich? I was like, Greenwich! Yeah, Greenwich Village. I don't fucking know. Well, I have to let them know in the Discord that I'm live. Or else they'll fucking get mad at me. Hold on. I gotta do work. Add notification. Should I just do add everyone? I should just do add everyone. I mean, why are you in the Discord if you're not gonna watch Sawa? That's just weird. Do people do that? Do they just join Discords so that they can just... I don't know. It's fucking stupid. Greenwich Village is Manhattan. In Manhattan is New York City's gay and lesbian. Yeah! Yeah. And Boys Town is Chicago's. So everybody has a beautiful area for beautiful people to be beautiful, I guess. Chicago's so fucking weird. I heard the mayor had like a panic attack again.
Detective Glaive became a poo boy. Poo boy.
Fucking
Actual
weirdo.
shortest chapter time. You betcha.
You betcha. Okay there. Where's the legend? Add everyone, yeah. Everyone. Everyone. I can add everyone, yes. I love how it warns you. It's like, you know, you're going to tell 200 people, 200 plus people, that you're playing Higurashi. You're gonna tell that many people, Sawa? Yes. Yes, I am. Are you sure about that? Yes. Yes, I am. 61 people are watching. Hi. Hello, VOD watchers of the future. Hello. Thank you for watching the VOD. I'm a little under the weather, you know, because things change, seasons change, people change. All I gotta say is this fall is going to be very fun. Very fun. I'm very excited for shit that is about to go down. So, yeah. Yeah. Anyway. Yay, son! I found where I can get that game, by the way. I will see how I can get it. We're all under the weather unless you're an astronaut. Shut your bitch ass up, shut your bitch ass. Shut up. Shut up. Okay. What the fuck? I'm sorry, I'm scrolling on Twitter. I'm just so tired today. We're gonna be playing Higurashi Chapter 4. I was told by someone in the Discord something about it. You see, allergies? Maybe I'm allergic to fall? That sucks, because I love fall. Why did you put a oh. Okay. Where is... I'm gonna add it. Higurashi. No, Higurashi. Somebody talked about it. Somebody keeps convincing someone that Higurashi sucks such a bitch ass up. It's not bad. It's actually, if I were to rank, I should rank all the VNs we've read. I should rank them because Higurashi is up there. Higurashi is way up there. Compared to, let me think of what's the worst one. Honestly, let me think. I'd have to list everything we've done. Milk inside a bag of milk, inside a bag of milk, inside a bag of milk is... YouTube keeps disabling comments on the streams? No fucking way! Why? What the fuck? Hold on. YouTube keep disabling my ad block now. My comments section. They think I'm 10? Is that what people... What? Because the content or audience is set to made for kids. It is not set to made for kids, motherfucker. It is not set to there. I don't know why it would be set to there. It's not. Hold on. What the fuck? It is not set to there. I'll have to look into it, but that's stupid. You can count that high sometimes. Let's see. Okay. So that was a kids channel now? No! Fuck them kids. No! Oh god, hold on. I forgot to bring a utensil to pick out the tea bag in my cup. So I'm just gonna use a pencil and see what happens. Oh, it's hot. Using my hand. There. Okay. Higurashi when they disable comments. No! So, Corpse Girl is pretty bad. But it's not, you know... It wasn't too bad. Arigato, Trashman.
Trashman became a boy.
You became a boy.
Get in the cage, kid. Get in there with all your little friends.
Oh, okay. Corpse Girl was the best VN. No, it was not. What's the flavor of tea? It's like ultra mint something. Hold on. Let me go to the website so I can get it right so he doesn't message me. Dragons. Treasure. Tea. Mint. I thought I'd try it. Let's see. Ultra Minstinct. Yeah, Ultra Minstinct, and it has peppermint, spearmint, eucalyptus, lemon verbena, bergamot. And it has like no caffeine or low level caffeine. Sala, you know of Umineko When They Cry? Yes, I have it. On Steam, I do not. Yeah, I don't have it on GOG. So yeah. It's pretty good. Sala, the chat isn't... Well, I've never played Umineko. I'm talking about the tea. Sala, the chat isn't disabled on the last Higurashi stream for me? I can see the live chat. Not the comments. Huh. That's interesting. Interesting. Okay. I'll look into that later. Now, for Higurashi. I don't know what else could there be? Like, I kind of liked 3 and just, they could have just stopped it there and then gone to the answers. we'll see what happens. Cause I just am sitting here going, what? What else do we? What else do we need? Higurashi when they cry.
Detective Glaive donated $5 to
Arigato.
the most wickedest sawagrapesama. Chapter 4 is unironically the shortest thing Ryukishi has ever written. All of the other chapters are way longer.
Then why? I wonder what it's gonna be. You guys got me interested. I wonder what it's gonna be. I wonder. Come on. Okay, I installed the mod. Hold on, let's go to the game zone. To the game zone! I installed the mod. And so I need to see... How demo, no? How BGM. Full Japanese release of the How Plus. What should we do? New Mega Gamer 2019. Fan OST remake? Oh, they replaced the fascism track on this one, though. Damn it. And Sunrise. And Theme of Owner. And Dawn.
Detective Glaive donated $5 to the most wickedest sawagrapesama. It's also worth noting he created this chapter while people were waiting for what became chapter 5 too. To hold people over while they waited.
Oh, that's why. Okay. That could be the reason, but still, that is weird. So we're gonna do... What is the demo version? This option replaces 16 BGM with the Higurashi How demo. No. No. We can do... There's so many options. What do you guys think? Because there's so many options and it's like, bleh, throwing up at me. Compared to the bye-bye. All the tracks that made their debut in You and Onika Kushi. Other tracks. Let's see. We'll do the 2014. I'll do that one. Just pick an English. Put a language English. Okay. We had a bloop. We had to do the options. Settings. Bloop. Where is it? 19. Should we full screen it? Yes. Okay. Okay. Let me put you guys here.
The video opening might contain minor spoilers. Do you want to enable it anyway?
Hell yeah! Let's go. I'm so excited! Himatsubishi.
For you, the final mystery.
Time killing chapter. Oh God. At least he ain't lying.
I now entrust you with all the mysteries hidden within Higurashi when they cry. However comical it may be, if you have reached any conjecture, then you have passed.
Woohoo!
This final novel is a meager reward for you. Conjecture is impossible. There goes that word again. Impossible. You have the right to reject this story.
Meager. This grade that we're adding in the console version. These choices result in dialogue changes that can lead to bad ends. Do you want to see these choices? Do we even care about the console version? Do we even care about that? I'm going for the... Yeah, wait, what? I have no idea, bro. Wait. What is even a console? That's what I thought. We're doing skip additional choices. Yeah, choice. I know.
Who is the criminal, you ask? Don't we search for them in the story? Who is the criminal, you ask? Do you even know what the criminal did? Who's the criminal? Who is the criminal who will kill me now?
Whoa. Okay. You're a woman, Sower. You should not have choices. You're right. That's why I'm playing Higurashi.
I had misread the time and ended up arriving too early. The schedule board flipped with a series of clacks.
Wait, who's this? A flight? I'll just read it regular.
My flight to Sapporo was still... Sapporo? Sapporo? That sounds familiar. Was still a bit later on. I still had an hour before boarding. Well, might as well close my eyes for a bit on that bench over there then.
New character? Never. Oh, this is somebody new. Teen Boys May. I don't know who this is.
I came here directly from work, so maybe the fatigue was from that was making me sleepy. Finding a suitable bench, I put my luggage on the seat next to me and settled down.
Will, it's a dude!
Phew. I sighed like an old man.
I had hoped to stay young forever, but had become splendidly middle-aged. Apparently, the rumor that even people in the later half of their 20s experience a decline in physical strength was...
Oh no, I'm older than that. Oh shit. That's true though. A boomer.
It had been mine.
He's not a boomer. He's as old as most of you fuckers. No.
It had been mind-numbingly busy at work lately, so I rarely had any time to myself. This might have been the first time I'd been able to enjoy a journey alone since I was a student. The reason behind this trip is to meet an old friend. It was a bit strange to call him an old friend. In fact, it might be better to call him a bad one. After retiring a couple of years ago, he moved to Sapporo, his mother's hometown. His mother passed away soon after, and he was now peacefully enjoying his second lease on life. His name was Kurado Oshi. He was a former detective from the Primary Investigation Unit at the station in Okinomiya
Excel.
Prefecture. To be honest, the only direct contact we've ever had didn't last more than 3 days. After that, we exchanged New Year's cards, but never met again. So, this would be the first time meeting him in 7 years. In other words, we met 7 years ago, in 1978. There was something I just had to ask, to talk to him about concerning that time. To explain that, it was impossible not to recall the incident that happened back then. That kidnapping. The details and resolution of which were resigned to darkness.
Ooh.
Also, it was impossible not to recall a certain mysterious girl. My name is Mamoru Akasaka. Oh. It was a year that had been strangely hot, even though it was only June.
Early summer 1978.
Sensei,
はい。
さようなら。車に気をつけるんですよ。
Oh,
Okay, bye. Watch out for cars.
お
See
友
ya.
達の家に寄り道なんかしないように。
And don't drop in at a friend's house along the way.
明日の教科書の準
Make
備
sure
は
you get your
必ず
textbooks
寝
in
る前
order
にしておくん
tomorrow
ですよ。
too. Before you go to bed. Clato, clato, clato.
I remember winning, so I always win at Higurashi.
The lively sounds of children running towards the hallway. Ooh, children. Run, 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 run.
でさ、つってんだぜ。
Ah, cute.
Hey now! Didn't I tell you before?
そんなの俺持ってるわよ。
I already have one of those.
いらね
I
えよ。
don't need any more.
The unique, high-pitched voice of youth.
The energetic shrill of the cicadas went completely unheard by their ears. Children, returning home from school, split off one by their groups of friends as they went through intersections in the residential area.
Children. Hello, Shrike. Is that how you say it? Or is it Shrike? Shrike. Hi. Hi, chat. Hi. This is comfy. I'm just enjoying the ambiance. Excuse me.
Even though there were several of them in a group, as they left the school, as they got closer to their homes, their numbers dwindled. That's why the fewer friends you were walking home with acted as an indicator that you were much closer towards your destination.
じゃあ
Later.
な。あばよ。
See ya.
また明日ね。
Yeah, see you tomorrow!
Drink tea, listen to cicadas. I know it's good. You know, in my area, they said there was gonna be a bunch of cicadas, like on the trees and everything. They lied. They never came out. And even no, they didn't, because I went through a forest. No, they didn't come out. I'm like, maybe they were in the forest. No, they were not. They were not tea, you say. Tea. Let's see.
He finally parted ways with his last friend. Sweet. A van was parked at a bend in the road. The window was open, the sound of the radio leaking outside. It must have been the news or
たた
something.
め、道路交通法違反、公務執行妨害で3名を逮捕しました。
For that reason, the three of them were arrested for traffic violations and obstruction of justice.
一連の日並沢ダム建設反対をめぐる運動は、先月の機動隊との流血事件を境に過激化の一途をたどっており、
Due to the protests against Hinamizawa Dam project, resulting in the bloodshed when clashing with riot police last month, things have only become more violent.
警察では過激な活動家による次の事件を警戒しています。
The police are now, therefore, taking precautions against radical activists causing yet another incident.
先週も建設省庁舎前での犬飼建設大臣への直訴事件があったばかりで、
Last week, there was also a direct confrontation with Minister Inukai on the steps of the Ministry of Construction.
The boy's ears perked up at the mention of the name Inukai. At that moment, a man's face peeked out suddenly from the window of the van. His behavior was a little different from that of a man looking around to see if there was any incoming traffic before he opened the door of his vehicle. His eyes meeting suddenly with the unfamiliar man, the boy panicked slightly.
When
Arigato!
that Mirai became a boy.
Oh, you did! You became a playboy!
Congratulations! Get in the cage, kid!
You'll enjoy it here, I guess. Maybe. Or you won't. Baka.
ウグイス OK。
Nightingale. Who the fuck? Who is that? Hold on. We got the perfect... Where's the demon sound? Is it this one?
Hibari OK.
Skylark, okay.
前後2ブロック確保した。
They've secured the 2 blocks around us.
いいぞ。
We're good to go.
What is this? Is this a spy movie all of a sudden? What the fuck is...
The man in the passenger seat whispered quietly. Nodding in acknowledgement, the man opened the door and stood before the boy.
君、犬飼俊樹くん
Trying to think of what voice to do this. Demon works best. Nightingale sounds like a chipmunk. No, this isn't... Isn't that scary? Wouldn't you be scared if you were a boy and you heard that?
While asking that, the man peered at the boy's name tag. Toshiki Unakai. The name was written plainly there.
I'd be scared if I could hear it. Oh, you can't hear it? You could.
The phone rang a third time. If he reached out, he could easily pick up the receiver. However, he was concerned that if he picked it up before it had even finished ringing once, whoever was on the other end of the line would think him a fairly cheap person. That's why he never picked up the phone until the third ring. He even thought it was a worthless habit. However, his thinking was that there isn't much meaning in waiting for just 3 rings. Wouldn't waiting for 5 be alright? It was very much a reality. His mind filled with such trifling thoughts, he picked up the phone after the 3rd ring had finished, its reverb dampened by his action.
はい。
Yes.
もしもし。
Hello?
もしもし。
Hello? Bruh, hello?
He knew that sometimes, due to a malfunction at the switchboard, calls didn't connect well. At those times, it was best to hang up and let the person on the other end call again. Thinking that, the moment he began to hang up the phone, he sensed that he was definitely connected after all. He felt the presence of the person on the other end of the line, keeping silent.
もしもし。
Hello?
There was no way he didn't hear his question. What was the meaning of this? It wasn't like he didn't know that people could use silent calls to harass others. However, he'd never received a call like that until today. Maybe he was just lucky before, but he didn't believe that he would receive such a call on his phone. There were no direct calls to or from this line. Everything had gone through an operator. Therefore, there was absolutely no way the call would be connected unless it was verified there was somebody else on the other end of the line. That's why he didn't understand how to deal with this silent call, and instead settled into confusion.
あんた、誰だか知らないが、用がないなら切るよ。
I don't know who you are, but if you have nothing to say, I'm going to hang up.
また、かけ直してください。
Please call again some other time. Intending that to be a parting line, he made to slam down the receiver. It was at that moment the person on the other end spoke for the first time.
I get to use the chipmunk then. I get to use the special voice. It's not the right voice.
work with it. This one is much more scary than this one. But I want to do this one.
Hold on. Yeah, we'll just do this one. What about this one? No. This one? No. Oh. I like this one. It's like I'm talking in like a bubble.
So we're gonna change
The pitch of this one.
So I was gracious.
Higurashi, when they change their voices, yeah.
あんたが犬飼大臣じゃないなら、さっさと電話を切ってください。
Okay, hold on. I should do this one. This one is so fucking funny. If you're not Ministry Cry, please hang up right away. We'll do the auto-tune. Fucking. It's a Fumo? Yes, it is a Fumo. You're right. That's how we know. Oh god, that one's gonna kill me though. Yeah, hi Auntie, they could have used the deep anonymous voice changer. No. No, they could no.
He couldn't help but be surprised by the extremely strange voice on the other end of the line. There was a human alive. Was there a human alive who could speak with such a hoarse and metallic voice? No! This was a voice he had heard somewhere before. I don't know why all of a sudden I'm talking like Keiichi. But it's comfy, so I'll just do that. That was the kind of voice that was on those lowbrow documentaries that they used when they wanted to hide the identity of a speaker, wasn't it? The voice he was hearing over the line was exactly that.
あんた、誰?
Who are you?
だから、それはこっちが聞いてるんですよ。
As I said, that's what I want to ask.
あんた、犬飼大臣じゃないの?
Are you Minister Equine? Imagine someone kidnaps a kid and they use you as their fucking
Inukai hesitated to answer, unable to discern the intent of this suspicious phone call. He had a vague feeling that something was off. Oh, you don't say there, bucko. You don't say. Jeez. He thought about hanging up the phone and asking the operator who initiated the call. However, he forced himself to restrain that urge, and for the time being chose to state his name and listen.
そうです。
そうです。
犬飼です。
犬飼です。
名乗りましたよ。
I said my name.
あんたも名乗ってくだ
Now
さい。
you say yours.
私の名前なんてどうでもいいんだ。
My name doesn't matter.
まず、あなたがどういう立場に置かれているか、それを認識するところから始めましょう。
First of all, let's begin by thinking about the situation you're in right now.
あなたは今、自分の席で電話をしていますね。
Right now, you're sitting in your chair, talking on the phone. Yeah.
では、あなたの席の右側の一番下の引き出しを開けてみてください。
Then why don't you try opening the lower drawer did that. Hold on. My name isn't important. What's important is what I'm gonna do. Fucking kidnapper song. Oh my god, it's so goofy. Anyway.
The lowest drawer to the right of the minister's chair. There was a lock on it. Not enough to function as a safe, but nevertheless, it was a drawer that contained some valuable things. That's why Inukai thought that the person wanted some important information contained in the drawer.
すまんが、開けるつもりはないよ。
Sorry, but I don't have any intention of opening that.
自分の名前も名乗れんやつの言いなりになる言われはない。
I have no reason to follow orders from somebody who won't even give me his name.
引き出しを開けてくれないなら、この電話を切ります。
If you don't open that drawer, I'll hang up the phone.
きっと後悔することになりますよ。
You'll most likely end up regretting that.
まずは引き出しを開けてから考えてもいいんじゃないですか？
Why don't you think about opening that drawer first?
I didn't like following orders from this suspicious person one bit. However, he was concerned about what the man said about regretting it, so he decided to open the drawer. He took the small key that stowed in his wallet and unlocked the drawer. His hand stopped right before he opened it. What if there was a bomb inside, and it would explode if the drawer was open? That delusion took hold of him. He quelled that instinct and opened it.
開けてくれましたか？
Did you do it?
そこにあるものが何かわかりますよね。
The thing that's in there. Do you know what it is?
これはどういうことだ？
This is... What is the meaning of this?
おい、
Hey!
どういうことか説明する必要なんかないですよね。
I don't think there's any need for me to explain. Is there?
時間を差し上げますので、少しお考えください。
I'll give you some time. How about that happen? I don't know how that happened. That's what I get for fucking around with this on the spot. Love this shirt. I don't think there's any need for me to explain, is there? I'll give you some time, so please think about it a little.
また後ほどこちらから連絡いたします。
I'll contact you again later.
それでは失礼。
Now the... Ooh.
Why did it do that? That's a weird sound. I'm sorry, I'm fucking around with it too much. I hardly ever fuck around with it. Now then, pardon me.
おい、
Hey!
待て。
Wait!
もしもし、
Hello!
もしもし。
Hello! The call had already ended. It would not change no matter how much he yelled at it. Even still, Inukai, without realizing that, continued yelling into the receiver for a while. The drawer was still open. On top of the folders crammed into the drawer, it lay there. Toshiki Inukai. Written in plain lettering on a grade schooler's name tag. A grade schooler's, name tag, just lying there. Enshrined there, completely out of place, as if it were cowering.
This is a work of fiction. Please, people on Twitter, please remember that.
Moshi moshi! Ah!
He said angrily. Yes. Okay. We got new people. A whole new storyline. I don't know who this is, so I'll just read it this way.
Do you remember, Yuki? This picture. This is where...
Oh, propose to you. Oh, there's some cuteness here. Oh, I'm excited. I'm excited. Oh, my nose.
This is where I first proposed to you. That brief moment before you nodded back. You probably wouldn't know just how much it seemed like an eternity to me.
Yes. I never would have thought that amount of time could feel like an eternity. Ooh, 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 ooh. Compared to how long I had to wait for you to propose to me, it was... From the moment I met you until today, compared to the time I've spent since I was born, it might only be a brief period, but they were definitely precious, beautiful days that deserve to be called an eternity. That continues even now, from now on. I wonder if it'll be a boy, or maybe a girl. Either one is fine. There's a hospital. Boy or girl, either way, it's living proof that we love it. Oh. If it's a boy, we'll name it after you, Mamoru.
If it's a girl, we'll put the Yuki from my name.
Oh, hold on. If it's a girl, we'll put the Yuki from my name and hers. Thinking about names is so fun that in the end, we still haven't decided yet. There's still some time to puzzle over it. Not that long of time, actually.
You see, Yuki, there's something I have to apologize for today. It's about your job. Sorry. It looks like an annoying bit of work has come up. In the worst case, I might not be able to make it there for the delivery.
It's fine. You have a very important job. what you do protects the way we live. Compared to you, it's nothing. Please, go ahead. When you return, I'll be waiting here with our child.
Thank you. Also, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Please don't apologize. If you feel guilty about it, then you can just atone. Oh no.
If I atone that much, no matter how much money I have, it won't be enough. It's a joke.
No, go on. Oh no.
As I left the room, I bumped into an elderly man. It was Yuki's father. In other words, my father-in-law.
お父さん。
お父さん。
邪魔する気はなかったからな。
I didn't want to intrude,
廊下で待たせても
so
ら
I
ったよ。
waited in the hall.
Yeah.
聞き耳を立てるつもりはなかったが、聞こえてしまった。
I didn't mean to eavesdrop, but I heard. Go.
生きたまえ。ユキエはああいう娘だ。
Poor girl, Boomer. Eavesdropping.
I'll tell you something right now. It's the best superpower we have is eavesdropping. Yuki is that kind of girl.
何があっても
No matter what
自
happens,
分
she
が
doesn't
君の
want to hold
稼ぎ
you
になる
back.
ことを望む。
Aw.
私はこれまで雪江に様々な犠牲を強いてきました。
I've forced Yuki to give up on so many things.
出産という人生の節目にま
Put
で
her through this
彼女
during
に犠牲を
childbirth.
強いることを
Such an important time in her life. I'm ashamed.
君が本当にそう思うなら、仕事が終わったら、ユキエのために時間を割きなさい。
If you really feel that way, when you're done with your work, make some time for Yuki.
君が仕事を投げ出して付き添ってくれるよりも、そうした方がきっと
She'll be
ユキエ
happier
も喜
with
ぶ
that
だ
than
ろ
you
う。
passing your work off to someone else.
ありがとうございます。
Arigatou gozaimasu. Bye bye.
君がとても大切な仕事をしていることは私もよく知
I
ってい
know
る。
full well you do important work.
自分の仕
Be
事
proud in what
誇り
you
に
do.
ユキエは
Yuki is
君が
looking
見
forward
事
to your
難題を解
triumphant
決して
return.
凱旋するのを楽しい。
はい。
はい。
I jumped into the taxi that was waiting outside. Compared to the time when I first got here, the numbers on the fare meter had grown considerably. It seemed the modest time Yuki and I had spent together wasn't so modest from an objective point of view.
待たせてすみません。
Sorry to keep you waiting.
やってください。
Go ahead.
いえいえ。
No worries.
では参りますよ。
Yeah, no worries. Well then, off we go.
The taxi jerked as it changed gears to accelerate, soon burying... burying? Oh gosh, there! Burying!
Oh no! My accent came out. I gotta keep that. I gotta wrap it. I gotta hide that accent. Oh gosh darn! I know. Burying. I'm not Canadian. I'm from Chicago. I don't know if that's worse. Oh gee whiz! Oh gosh! Yeah. Burying the hospital.
My wife was in behind the throng of buildings. I almost said thong.
I am so out of it tonight. Deep dish sour. I don't really care for deep dish that much. I saw the other day somebody was highlighting a tavern style pizza. Gosh, that looks so fucking good. Anyway, that was in Chicago. Anyway.
If it was to end up as a really troublesome ordeal, I probably wouldn't be returning for quite some time.
To call a rookie like me, and on top of that, one who's off duty, seemed like the section chief's calling all hands on deck. The veteran upper brass gathering on an emergency basis happened occasionally. This was the first time, though, I had experienced anybody gathering together like this. Whatever was happening, there was no doubt it was going to be something novel. Right when my wife was ready to give birth. If I wanted to spend time to curse my misfortunes, I'd be here all day. Even the verdant ginkgo trees lining the street had always brightened my mood seemed to lack some of their usual luster. Eventually, the government office came into view. Briefly holding my breath, I let the feelings of tension course through my body once again. I had to remember the work I was doing was important, necessary, and difficult. Ginko. I composed myself and sharpened my wit. Ready? The taxi stopped in front of the building. Bro, this is gonna be so bad. I don't think I'm gonna make it.
室長、全員揃いました。
Chief, everyone's here.
赤坂君、ブラインド下ろしてくれる？
Akasaka-kun, could you close the blinds?
The blinds were usually closed when they needed to use the projector, or if the discussion was going to contain some particularly disturbing content. The blinds closed with a satisfying sound, darkening the interior of the room. Immediately, inside the room was completely drained of the pleasant morning atmosphere, leaving behind only the cold illumination of the floodlighting.
Oh, man.
After the supervisor ensured that everyone was present, he nodded to the section chief once again. With everybody on the edge of their seats, the chief stood up solemnly and began to give his report.
推定48時間前、建設大臣の孫にあたる建設省幹部の子息が誘拐された模様です。
Approximately 48 hours ago, the Minister of Construction's grandson, who is also the son of one of his staff leaders, is believed to have been kidnapped.
建設大臣は事態を穏便に済ませるため、警察へ通報せず要求に応じるものと思われます。
It is believed the minister, in effort to resolve matters amicably, chose not to report the situation to the police and plans to cede the demands imposed upon him. Oh wow. It seemed that approximately 48 hours earlier, the Minister of Construction's grandson, who is also the son of one of the senior staff members, was kidnapped. The reason why it was phrased that way was because the person in question didn't admit it happened.
大臣宅の通話を監視した結果、都外からと思われる不審な電話が数件確認されました。
Based on the results of surveillance conducted on the minister's residence, multiple suspicious phone calls from what is believed to be outside the city took place.
誘拐された子供は病気療養中となっているが、通院の形跡はなく、周辺での目撃例もなく。
The abducted child is said to be under treatment for some illness, but there are no trace of any hospital records or witnesses to such effect.
その他いくつかの理由から、事件発生は間違いないものと断定しました。
Due to the various other reasons, we believe without a doubt that a kidnapping has occurred. Here, they omitted the details that brought this incident to light. If you think about it a bit, that meant that before this incident happened, the minister's residence had been under surveillance already. I won't use those words, spied upon. Of course, there wouldn't have been court approval for this, and it would have been very hard to explain to ordinary citizens. However, it was quite an effective method to catch wind of incidents like this before they got worse. I'd like for you to understand that dealing with these cases before they become a problem is the job of the Public Safety Division.
なぜ警察に通報せず要求を鵜呑みに。
Man, just a regular man. Why is he just following their demands instead of reporting this to the police?
大臣たる者が警察を信用できないってんだ。
Water.
四末だ
Sounds
ね。
great. I'm a man. Is that you? Were you in this? Cool. Cool.
The fact that a minister can't even trust the police. What is this world coming to?
犯人グループは誘拐初期に自分たちが大臣の生活をかなり高度に監視していることを警告し、その証拠を示した様子です。
It seems the perpetrators demonstrated that they have quite a high level of surveillance on the ministers themselves when they conducted the kidnapping.
大臣が屈服し、警察への通報も思いとどまるほどの何かですね。
Enough to give the minister pause before calling the police.
警察へ通報してもすぐにわかるぞって。
We'll find out right away if you call the cops. Co-ops, more or less.
Trying to get that rat voice right. That way I can bring it back. Deep voice does sound nice. I know! I know, Milford!
So, it's possible there's a mole. There's a mole close to the minister. There's a rat in the building. A rat.
Ah, cute little rat.
Several of the high-ranking members who seem to have experience with this kind of thing let out deep sighs.
犯人グループの目的が要求にあるのか、事件そのものにあるのかは不明ですが。
The goals of the perpetrators, their demands, as well as this entire incident, as of yet unclear.
いずれにせよ、
But in any
国
case,
益を脅かす事態に発
the
展する可能
possibility
性
that
が
this may
極
grow
め
to
て高い。
threaten national interests is extremely high. If their goal was to simply have their demands met for monetary gain, that would have been nice. However, if this was politically motivated, some politically motivated shakeup, things would get a lot more complicated.
被害者の協力がないということは、脅迫内容も要求も
What
一
if I
切
hold
不
my
明とい
nose?
うこ
Hold
と
on.
か。
Wait a minute.
Since we're not receiving any cooperation from the victim, that means that we're not privy to any of the details.
No, that sounds a little too much like Titan.
Details or demands.
本件は内通者の水準がかなり高いと思われるた
I
め
need to get the rat
当
voice
室
right,
のみの
man.
極秘捜査とします。
Due to the fact that we believe there to be a mole involved in this incident, this investigation is highly classified. Only the people in this room are to know of this.
また本件は本日より最優先事項
Titan,
と
we're
な
like
り、
red too.
これまでの通常業務を一時凍結して対応します。
Furthermore, as this case is our utmost priority, we'll be placing a hold on everybody's normal duties.
よろしいですね。
Understood! After that, the supervisor continued on, tactfully explaining our course of action. If this incident were to become public, it was possible that the minister's political life would be over. I'll spare you the explanation of how the rest of the dominoes would fall, but in the end, support in the Diet would decline, followed by a no-confidence vote and a snap election. And it might even expand communist influences. In other words, we wanted to handle this delicately.
川崎と佐伯は大臣宅、子供宅の通話を24時間監視。
Suck in there.
Kawasaki, Saike, monitor communications from the minister and the child's residences 24/7.
大臣の動向を探れ。
Find out what the minister is doing.
動きがあるたびに逐一報告せよ。
Report anything that happens.
残る各職員は担当団体ごとに本件との関連を調査。
The remaining members investigate whatever is related to the case as assigned to your units.
最近動きが不穏
Focus
な
your
特殊ライ
line
ンは
of
集中的に
investigation
や
on the
れ。
commies, reds, and confeds.
それから外国勢力も水を漏らすな。
Don't discount the possibility of foreign involvement either. I've experienced one or two unamicable situations before. This, however, was the first time I've seen things get so hectic. Several sophisticated conversations were progressing without the involvement of a rookie like me. I didn't intend to be timid, but I couldn't hide my confusion at this unfamiliar situation.
では柿内に行ってくれ。
And cover that.
で、赤坂君
As
は
for Asaka-kun,
I snapped back to alertness upon hearing my name called.
はい。
Hi!
赤坂君は大臣に陳情してきた環境保護団体関連を調査してくれ。
you investigate the environmental groups that have petitioned the minister.
中でも新
Among
聞で
them,
も騒ぎになってる
there's a
ひ
group
なみ沢ダム
protesting
建
the
設反対の
Hinamizawa
団
Dam
体をよ
project
く
that
調
made
査
the
すること。
papers. Make sure you investigate them thoroughly.
住民団体の仕業とは到底思えないが、全ての可能性を潰していかなくてはならない。
I doubt this is the act of some citizen group, but we have to eliminate every possibility we can.
わかりました。
Understood.
ひなみ沢ダム反対か。
So those opposed to the Hinamizawa Dam.
直接現地へ行った方がいいだろう。
It's probably best if you go to the location
現
personally.
地県警で情
Get
報
some
を取れ。
information from the local authorities.
かなり過激な団体らしく、向こうの公安でもマークしてるらしいぞ。
They're a fairly radical organization, so the public safety division there should have them marked as well.
Hold on. Yeah.
わかりました。
Wakarimashita.
現地へ出港します。
I'll head over there.
奥さん、出産控えてるんだって？
Your wife, she's almost ready to give birth, isn't she?
こんなタイミングで申し訳ないけど、
I
協力頼むよ。
apologize for the timing of this. But I'm counting on your
時間
cooperation.
がかけられないから、人海戦術で総当たりで行くしかないんだ。
We can't take our time with this, so we just have to brute force it with our boots on the ground.
ええ、わかってます。
Yeah, I know.
家内も自分の都合が私の仕事に触ることを嫌いますから。
My wife hates to interfere with my work with her own circumstances anyways.
すまん。ありがとう。
Sorry, and thanks.
それから、川崎くん、佐伯くん、君たちの応援には、
So then, as for Kawasaki-kun and Saikeki-kun, to help support your...
Oh man, my eyeballs. Bro.
I'm not wearing my glasses today. My eyeballs are just like. I wanted to chill. I wanted to chill.
I didn't want to take a business trip when my wife was about to give birth. Even if it was a little busy, as long as I was in Tokyo, I could head to the hospital right away. On assignment, though, that would be difficult. And even so, I knew the work I was doing was important, and fully understood that I was in no position to be selfish.
Yeah, it's hard to stay invested with the new characters out of nowhere. But I will read this, and we will see where it goes from there. I'm more excited for the answers arcs, to be honest.
I have to make it up to my wife for having to be away at such an important time. Oh no. My wife, Yuki, would probably forgive me with a smile. The only thing she could hate doing would be holding me back. My male ego, though. At least wish she could have tried to stop me. Sorry, Yuki. I don't mind if you always complain to our child that their father couldn't come to the hospital when they were born because he was too busy with work. Oh no.
New friends out. This is an old friend story.
The next day, I took the bullet train to Nagoya, and from there, transferred to the train to the whatever prefecture. Getting to my destination by land took several hours. If I was traveling by air, in that amount of time, I could probably get as far as Hong Kong. The ex-prefecture was by no means close. I never sat in first class except for work. But whenever I did, the seats seemed stiff. Closing my eyes, I mentally reviewed the documents I read yesterday. The group under investigation, the Onigafuchi Guardians. They were a group of residents opposed to the development proposed under the Hinamizawa Dam project. The local protests were quite heated and were getting more radicalized. Even limited to what was written in the newspapers, there was a bloodshed that occurred during a clash with riot police, interference with the dam construction, too many to count. The number of petitions, sit-ins, and direct appeals to the relevant organizations were innumerable. As an extension of that, there was a direct appeal to the Minister of Construction on that day.
これがそもそも今回この団体を調査することになったゆえんだ。
This was the reason why we were investigating this group in the first place. The land that they lived on was going to be submerged, so it was no wonder they would go into a frenzy over it. Even given that, though, could they really be capable of doing something like kidnapping the Minister of Construction's grandson in order to halt the project?
Yes.
From my take on it, I had serious doubts. This kidnapping plot was extremely sophisticated and complicated enough that it was believed there was some political backing. This wasn't something that could be pulled off by some group of local protesters. Well, just like the chief said, the plan was to eliminate all possibilities. While I'm in the police reference room taking my time investigating the higher-ups, the higher-ups in Tokyo would probably solve the case without my involvement entirely. Even if that was true, I couldn't regret being away from Tokyo while my wife was ready to give birth. This was work. There's really nothing that I could do.
Ding dong.
The announcement that we would be arriving at our destination soon snapped me back to wakefulness.
Onigafuchi Shishu Dome ですか?
The Onigafuchi Guardians.
ええ、地元ではかなり賑わせているようです。
Oh, whose voice? Who's your voice?
Yeah, I'm quite active around here. The prefectural public safety department had already had documents and a cup of tea ready, and waiting for me.
早い話がダム反対の住民運動なんですが。
The short of it is, they're a group of residents opposed to the dam.
事実上、
Really,
水没地域の
it's
住
better
民
to
すべ
say
てが
that
決起し
every
たと言っていい
resident
でしょ
living
う
on the
ね。
land that's going to be submerged is rising to action, though.
死守なんて古風な言い方が示す通り、相当の決意と覚悟を持った連中です。
Like an old man saying, "Fight to the last." They're determined and well-prepared lot.
そこら辺の温和な住民団体とは一線を画すと思っていただいた方がいいですね。
It'd be nice if they drew the line at just being a moderate residential organization.
No.
A stack of papers they had prepared for me in the document room was by no means thin.
発足当初はごくごく平均的な住民運動だったんです。
At first, they were pretty much your average citizens' initiative, but ever since that incident, the riot police, they started to heat up.
Hitopo.
今では暴力主義団体か、それに準じるくらいの過激な勢力に成長したと言えますね。
Now they got a violent mentality on top of growing increasingly radical.
Yeah, they got demon blood. Demon blood.
Violent organizations usually indicate one's... Oh, man. Okay. Violent organizations usually indicate ones that enforce their own ideology without regards to the democratic process. I almost said demonic. I almost said demonic process. Whatever, same fucking thing.
Deadly Capsule donated $2 to the
Arigato.
most wickedest Sawashama. The real demon ghost was Old Man Withers.
Old Man Withers? Yes, thank you.
Breaking that down, many of those organizations hold extreme left revolutionary ideologies. Considering that, I couldn't help but be surprised that a citizens group would end up going this far. Radical citizens movements happen occasionally. It seemed, however, that this group was nothing as trifling as that. It seems that I have to reconsider exactly what this Onigafuchi Guardians was.
鬼ヶ淵主導名が要求。つまりダム計画の撤回を求めるために行いうる活動範囲はどの程度でしょうか。
The Guardians demand, in other words, the withdrawal of the dam project. How far do they go to have that demand met? The kidnapping of the minister's grandson was classified. That meant, of course, I couldn't tell the prefectural department about it either.
ご存知の通り、先週あった犬飼建設大臣への直訴事件では逮捕者も出ています。
As you know, there were arrests last week, confirmation with Minister Inukai.
危険性は十分に
There's
ありま
enough
すね。
information to believe.
They could use illegal means to assert their demands.
I skimmed over the list of the criminal records related to the Onigafuchi Guardians recorded in the documents. The contents were all violent. Yay. Not giving me the barest hint of a feeling that these people were trying to uphold the
具
law.
体的に教えていただけますか。
Could you give me the basic rundown of these types of illegal activities the Onigafuchi Guardians are engaging in? The chief opened up a manila envelope, fished out several unorganized sheets, and spread them out on the desk.
建設現場への襲撃事件が最も多かったですね。
It seems that raids on the construction site are the most common.
初期の頃、
At first,
電源コー
they
ドの
were
切断や
Relatively
錠前の
petty
鍵穴に
crimes,
石を詰
like
め、
cutting power
痕跡によ
cords,
る事務
jamming
所の窓ガラ
locks,
ス
and
割り
breaking
等の
office
軽犯罪
windows
が
by
頻発し
throwing
ていました。
rocks. Of course.
What? Oh god, they're doing crazy shit. Yeah, it all goes back to the dam.
Of course, what really happened first were things like demonstrations, sit-ins, and distribution of pamphlets. Lively but democratic forms of protest. Yeah. However, then the demonstrators and the police clashed, which started a riot, leading to numerous injuries and arrests. It was from then on that the Onigafuchi Guardians, like their name implies, began to take a more demonic form of resistance.
襲撃が度重なれば地元警察による警備強化がなされるのでは。
If the raids were more frequent, didn't the local police up their patrol?
それは警戒はしたでしょうね。
Well, of course they're on full alert, but
でもあちらは地元ですから。
they were up against locals, you know, the locals.
闇に乗じて忍
There
び込
wasn't
まれたら
much
お
the
手上げで
police
しょう
could。do. They were sneaking around under the cloak of darkness.
Ah, yes, the cloak of darkness.
You might as well label the entire map of Hinamizawa village around the dam construction site enemy territory. No matter how alert the police were, the locals would just show them exactly how easy it was to sneak around.
警察が警備を固めてからは、むしろ挑発されたように過激化が進みました。
Actually, it was after the police upped security that the protesters started getting more extreme, as though they were being provoked.
ほら、この辺りからだいぶヒートアップしてるのがお分か
Can
り
you
にな
tell
り
how
ます。
things started to heat up?
事務所の放火。
An office set on fire.
建設重機の
The destruction of heavy construction equipment.
破壊
Destruction?
まさか爆弾でも
They couldn't have used explosives.
いや、まさか。
No way.
連中
You
ですね。
see,
タンクに角砂糖を放り込むんですよ。
they crammed a gas tanks full of sugar cubes.
あれやられたらエンジン焦げついちゃいますから。
If they do that, it fouls the engines.
That's like some prank level shit. It's just a prank, bro.
Even in Japan, it seemed there had been people doing that to the vehicles of occupying forces right after the war. Yeah, the car needed some milk. Compared to misdemeanors like breaking windows, it was extremely violent and aggressive.
そこまでやられた
Yeah,
の
I
は
could see that.
地元警察の面目は丸つぶれですね
After being toyed around with to that extent, the local police have completely lost face.
放火はさすがにですね。
That arson was a bit much.
それで地元警察が24時間体制の人員を大幅に増員しまして。
After that, the local police drastically increased the number of personnel they had stationed there around the clock.
それで建設現場への襲撃は一段落したようです。
The raids on the construction site quieted down a bit after that.
He used the words quieted down. That was still smack dab in the middle of the list of crimes.
で、連中ですね。
See, after that, they...
現場への直接攻撃が難しくなったとしたら、今度は個人攻撃に切り替えました。
See, after that, they found that attacking the site had become more difficult. They started resorting to personal attacks. They called people's mothers fat.
最初に狙われたのが工事事務所の現場作業者でした。
The first people they targeted were the construction workers.
After that, there was silence. What was being described to me was a guerrilla war fought in the jungle. Threats and violence against the workers? Harsh words and harsher rocks were thrown. Yeah.
かなりの告訴がされているのに逮捕者があまり出ていませんね
They said my grandma's miso soup tasted like trash! There's quite a list of accusations here. There's not a whole lot of convictions.
そりゃそうです。
Of course not.
第一、
First of all,
目撃者
there's
なんか
no
いないんですから。
witness.
それどこ
On
ろ
top
か
of、that,
現行
even
犯だ
if
った
we
に
were
した
to
って、
identify the
アリバイが
perpetrators,
ポンポンポン
they
と
all
で
have
きちゃうんで
alibis
す。
coming out of the woodwork.
Well,
それはどういうことですか
what do you mean by that?
例えばですね、
Take for
あなた
example,
がひなび沢で
you're
歩いて
walking around
いて、
Hinamizawa
ある男
when a
にナイ
certain
フで
man
刺された
stabs
と
you
し
with a
ます。
knife.
あなたは相手をよく覚えていて、名前も住所も特定できてるとします。
Take for example, you're walking around Hinamizawa when a certain man stabs you with a knife. You remember the person clearly, and you even know his name and address.
ただし、ナイフには指紋がなく、物的証拠だけがない。
However, the knife doesn't have any fingerprints on it, and there's no other physical evidence.
まあ、ありがちな傷害事件だと思うでしょ。
Well, you think this would be a run-of-the-mill case of assault, wouldn't you?
でも、ひなみ沢じゃ完全犯罪なんです。
In Hinamizawa, though, it's the perfect crime.
Everybody is. The entire village. They're all in on it. To protect the man who was the perpetrator, they'll get their story straight and prepare an alibi. To that end, they'll probably even forge some evidence.
裁判にもつれ込ますほかないわけですが、
There's nothing they can do but put them on trial.
何しろ物
On
的
top
証
of
拠
that,
はない
there's
上、
not...
犯人を隠匿する証言だけは後から後から増えていく。
On top of that, not being any material evidence, though, people testify one after another to cover his side of the story.
検察も書類送検には二の足を踏むわけです。
Any prosecutor would hesitate to file charges.
殺人ならいざ知らず、
I'm not
宝
sure
石で
about
額を切っ
murder.
た、殴られてあざができた程度だと、
Yeah.
仮に犯人を特定できたとしても、嫌疑不十分で送検されないことがほとんどです。
I'm not sure about murder. But if it's something like opening a gash on somebody's forehead with a thrown rock, or leaving a bruise after hitting someone, even if it could single out the suspect, there's enough reasonable doubt not to convict.
Every case is without a doubt perpetrated by someone in Hinamizawa. But they can't identify who. Even if they could figure out who it is, they're unable to obtain enough circumstantial evidence through due process. The villagers were all extremely well informed about this, and so the malicious, vicious, and tenacious personal attacks continued. Oh man.
被害者はそれでは納得できないでしょう。
The victims can't have been okay with that, right?
検察審査会に再審請求を
Couldn't
出
they
さ
have
ないのですか？
filed for an appeal?
それはですね、審査員たちがみんな厄介ごとに巻き込まれたくないと思っているからですよ。
Well, you see about that.
I'm trying to get the right pitch for this. Hold on in my head.
Well, see about that. Everybody in the inquest committee didn't want to get involved with something so troublesome.
ひなみざわ関係のト
They
ラブル
won't
に
stick
は
their
首を
noses
突っ込
into
みたがら
anything
ない
related to Hinamizawa.
Ah, yes, the inquest committee is comprised of a random selection of local residents. In the event the prosecutor fails to get a conviction, they have the power to order a retrieval. It's a system designed to assert the will of the people on actions of expert prosecutors in the legal world. In this case, however, being composed of local residents has backfired.
首を突っ込みたがらない。
They don't want to get involved?
それはなぜです？
Why is that?
なんて説明すればいいんでしょう。
How do I explain this?
恐れられているって言え
You
ばいい
could
のかな。
say they're afraid.
あそこはね、少し特殊なんです。
It's a little special there.
特殊？
Special?
何か政治的なバックボーンが存在するということですか？
Yes, Hinamizawa knows about jury nullification.
Special? Is it an outcast community?
いえ、そういうのとは少し違うというか。
No, it's a little different from that.
まあその、
Well,
怖がられていると思って
just
くだ
think
さい。
of them as being afraid.
この辺りは
It's
口
a
で
little
は
hard
少し
to
説明し
explain
に
it
くいん
just
です。
now.
ああ、そうだ。わかりやすいのがありました。
There's an easier way.
Wiping his forehead with a handkerchief, he opened a file labeled as a list of members of the Onigafuchi Guardians.
鬼ヶ淵死守同盟の勢力にはですね、
I have to hold my breath for that one because it's high pitched and it's gravelly, so he's gonna kill me. It's gonna. You gotta hold it. Holding it makes it easier. Hold on.
The power of the Onigafuchi Guardians, you see,
近隣の
is
町
the
々
fact that they
に
count
強い
many
影響
people
力を
among
持
their
つ人
members
間
who
が
are
肩を折りまして
influential in neighboring areas.
この辺をご覧い
Could
た
you
だけ
take
ま
a
す
look
か。
at this?
I looked. What I saw startled me. Prefectural and municipal assembly members, staff members of the Chamber of Commerce, an executive of a business association, an executive of a town council association, and a PTA liaison. There were more than a few people with a lot to say both locally and in the neighboring regions.
この界隈では、ひなみ沢のダム反対運動は皆静観しているのが普通なんです。
Around here, you can pretty much expect your actions to be observed by those against the dam project.
ダムを肯定するような発言をすると、どこでどう巡って不利益を被るかわからない。
If you said something in its support, who knows how it would work out to your disadvantage.
何しろ近隣の町の喉元は、ひなみ沢出身の人間が抑えていますからね。
In any case, every town in this area is being held by the throat by somebody from Hinamizawa.
検察審査員のリストは非公開でしょう。
The list of Inquisition Committee members is undisclosed, isn't it?
報復がされないよう
There
に
has to be some measures in place to make sure they'd avoid retribution, no?
一応、非公開でプライバシーは守られてますがね。
Well, it is undisclosed, so their privacy is assured, but
それを管理してるのは、沖宮市役所の人間。
The person in charge of that is from the Okinomiya Municipal Office.
つまり地
In
元
other
の人
words,
間なんです
a local.
守秘義務があるとはいえ
While you
や
might
はり
expect
人間
some
のつながりは
professional
分かりませんからね
confidentiality, you can't know how everybody is connected.
ひなみ沢の人間はそのあたりのつながりがことのほか
The
強固です
people from Hinamizawa have a lot of tight bonds in that regard.
Oh, great. When you consider the obligations and duties people have to the region, the web of information thereby formed is nothing to scoff at. It is not uncommon for housewives in a neighborhood to know which kid from which house is what grade in which school, what subjects they're good at, and what vegetables they hate, among other things.
それにほらひなみ沢と遅延の深い暴力団組織がありましてね
You see, there's a Yakuza organization here with strong ties to Hinamizawa and the surrounding area.
これが今回
It
の
would
騒動
seem
に
they're
全面バ
providing
ックアッ
full
プしてるら
support
しい
in these recent incidents.
こちらが出てくるのが一番効いてるみたいですね
They seem to be proven most effective.
暴力団
Gangsters?
ダムの建設反対で
Siding together with the
住民と
residents
一
opposed
致
to the construction of the dam?
どういう利害が一致するのか読みがたいですね
It's a little hard to see what their common interest is.
それは難しいことじゃないです
It's not that difficult at all.
実は
You
ですね
see, actually,
暴力団の
one of the
組長がです
lieutenants
ね
in that gang is
ひなみ
originally
沢村
from
の出身なんです
Hinamizawa.
村の重鎮の一人の婿養子にあ
He
た
was
りました
adopted into a rather influential family in the village.
Exactly what is this Hinamizawa? I thought it was some desolate rustic village. However, for some reason, they exerted a strong influence on the surrounding areas and had a strong sense of unity. They would protect their village by any means necessary, even if that meant resorting to violence. The chief had said that they were afraid because there were numerous influential people living there. But somehow, I got the feeling that they were afraid of the village itself. There was something clearly different from what I had read in the documents in Tokyo. This was no simple residential protest against the dam. For some reason, an uneasy feeling began to nestle itself in the back of my mind. I chose the most basic way to ask my question. In other words, I directly asked what I wanted to know.
室長
Chief,
これは例えば仮の話ですが
this is a hypothetical situation, but...
はい
Huh?
例えばその鬼ヶ淵主導名が
Onigafuchi Guardians,
ダム計画を頓挫させるため
in order to halt the dam project.
要人を脅迫するようなことは考えられますか
Do you think they could, say, threaten somebody important to accomplish that? The chief replied immediately.
ありえるでしょう
It's possible.
事実
Truth be
彼ら
told,
は市役
they've
所や
already
県庁
gone to the
建
municipal
設
and
省の工事事
prefectural
務所にも
buildings.
押しかけ
Prefectural
恫喝まがい
buildings.
のことを
Ah,
しています
shit,
し
they didn't they? As well as local offices in the Ministry of Construction and done things that could be construed as intimidation.
工事関係者の家族が不審者につけ回されたという事件も起こっています
Several of the workers' families have also reported they're being followed around by suspicious people. Oh shit.
Well, that would make sense. To halt process on the dam, they raided the construction site. Oh shit. Destroying heavy machinery and lighting the construction office on fire.
They just want to make Hinamizawa great again. What the fuck? I drank my tea. Did I drink all my tea? Let me see that. Yeah. My tea got cold. I'm not drinking. My tea got a little chilly. I need one of those. I need to find my thingy. That's like a hot plate. I can put so that the tea won't get cold. Especially since the fall and winter is coming. Can we get more tea sour? Yeah, you can. Here you go. Ah. Did you enjoy it? Did you enjoy your tea? because you can get more. At thedragonstreasure.com, use my code and save 10% off. Baka. Yes, my favorite PFP is in here. Hi, Masaki! I love that PFP. It makes me laugh every time I see it. Oh, it's so fucking funny. Oh, it's so fucking funny.
They didn't have any qualms about doing that. Threats of violence against people related to the dam would probably be no problem. Yeah. Probably be no problem. Blah, 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 blah. But that was it. Even your everyday hoodlum could use threats and violence. However, this time it was the kidnapping of the minister's grandson, an abnormally high-level crime. Not only was pulling off the kidnapping difficult in the first place, but so was maneuvering to have the minister surrender to their demands immediately. There's no way this was the work of amateurs. Did these people have the power to enact this large of a crime? Bro, that was the heart of the matter, bro. Was the Onikafuchi Guardians an organization capable of pulling this off? I thought we already knew that from the previous stories. We know that, though. In order to ask that question once again, I chose the most basic method.
例えば、政府要人の関係者
Again, hypothetically speaking, do you think
なんてことがあり得ると思いますか?
Again, hypothetically, do you think they could kidnap a relative of someone of political importance? There was no way they could pull off something that big. That was the answer I most hoped for. It was that answer. My work. If it was that answer, my work was as good as halfway done. I might be able to get back in time for my wife to give birth. That was how it was supposed to be. The chief, without a hint of hesitation, replied,
やるかもしれません。
No! No! Take it back, Chief! Take it back!
they just might? There's no telling how far they'd go.
Sorry, Yuki. It seemed like my work wouldn't end so simply after all.
Oh, Akasaka君か。
Oh, Asakana-kun.
ご苦労さん。
Good work.
担当地域での情報収集はどうですか?
Oh, this is the chief with the nice voice. Oh my god. Was relevant.
Oh, Akasaka君か。ご苦労さん。担当地域での情報収集はどうですか?
How's the information gathering at your assigned region?
順調です。
It's coming along.
これから現地警察の公安と接触できることになりましたの
It
で。
seems I'll be able
現地
to
へ向
meet
かう予
with
定
their
です。
local public safety department, so I'm planning on heading out that way.
東京の調査の方はどうですか?
How's the investigation in Tokyo going?
他の職員も順調に調査を進めているよ。他の職員も順調に調査を進めているよ。
Such a good voice. I don't know who you are. You have a good voice.
The others are processing along, but
でも調べる
the
団体
number
が
of
星の
groups
数だから
we
ね。
have to investigate are countless.
そんなに悠長に時間もかけられないし。
Oh, that was a nice word. Time isn't really a luxury here.
Great. There were no new developments at this time. Great, great, great. No matter how suspicious the Onikafuchi Guardians was, if they solved the case in Tokyo, my job was done. It looked like my wishful thinking wouldn't come to pass. Hanging up the phone, I let my gaze drift outside the window to the valley of unfamiliar buildings.
Akasaka-san.
Akasaka-san.
今、お貸しできる車が戻ってきました。
A car you can borrow just returned.
ご案内しますので、
I'll
こちらへ
take
ど
you
うぞ。
to it, so follow me.
すみません。
Thank you. He showed me to the elevator to the underground parking lot, where a battered sedan was waiting for me. The steering wheel kept drifting to the left was a little concerning, but it would be enough to get me around for a while. My destination was Shishibone City, blah, prefecture, an area under control of the Onigafuchi Guardians. The Okinomiya police section was right on the front lines.
Do we get tips for this? Do we read documents? Or do we just streamline it? Yeah, we just streamline it. How short is this, would you say, chat? Because maybe we could finish it tonight. I'd kill my voice, but maybe, just maybe. 5 more minutes, Mom. I'm gonna pull that. Is it short enough? Is it short chapter? Yes, I know it's a short chapter, but how short are we talking? It's a quick 30 minutes, Sawa.
It's a quick 30 minutes, Sawa. In and out. Easy, easy.
We'll see.
Shishibone City was, as far as the providential cities went, rather behind the times. Okinomiya, recessed in the mountains, was even more... Yeah, Okinomiya, recessed in the mountains, was even more remote. With little change between the seasons, all that was left was the tepid passage of time. It made for a rather drab town. There were no tourist attractions or local delicacies. Without even a strong regional industry, it was simply dull. Just looking at the monstrous and peaceful townscape, it was hard to catch a glimpse of the radical resistance of the Onigafuchi Guardians. It depends how much you take Chapter 3. Took many straight... No.
Let me go on the internet. How long is Chapter 4 Higurashi game time? It takes 5.5 to 7 hours. That's 2 streams. 3 if I'm really lazy, which I might be. Who knows? That's like, yeah. That's like, yeah. Because I usually do 2 to 3 hour streams. So you're going to have to have 3 more hours because yes, I'll be reading. No. Yeah. Can we have a long stream then? Probably not because I'm doing a lot of male voices.
And then every time I do like this voice in particular, the next morning I sound like this the whole day. And people look at me and they're like, what the fuck happened?
What the fuck happened, Sawa?
And I don't want to tell them. Hey, I was just reading a Japanese visual novel. Yeah. And I was just voicing it. Yeah, I went through my second puberty. Oh man, I went through my second puberty, bro. Anyway, just looking at the monstrous and peaceful, monotonous. What am I thinking? My glasses. Monotonous and peaceful townscape. It was hard to catch a glimpse of the radical resistance of the Onigafuchi Guardians. The atmosphere of boredom didn't hint of the Okinomiya police station being on the front lines of the dam conflict, nor the numerous incidents that I'd heard about at the prefectural headquarters.
Ohayou gozaimasu. Ohayou gozaimasu. Are you here to pay a fine?
Yeah.
No, I have an appointment with Hondaya-san from the Public Safety Division.
赤坂とお伝えください。
Please tell him it's Asaka.
失礼しました。
Akasaka.
少々お待ちください。
Akasaka.
My apologies. Wait a minute.
The clerk, who thought I was here for a parking violation at first glance, after fumbling with an unfamiliar extension number, told the person on the line they had a visitor.
どうもどうも。
I don't know how to voice this guy.
Welcome, welcome.
赤坂さんでいらっしゃいますか。
Akasaka-san, was it?
縁の
It
はる
must
ばる
have
お
been
疲れ様
tiring
でした。
traveling all this way.
こんな部屋で申し訳ありませ
Sorry,
ん
we had to
ね。
do this here.
応
But I
接
tried
室
to
を
reserve a
押さえてあったん
reception
ですが
room, you
ね
see.
議員さんが突然お越しになっちゃったんで追い出されちゃいまして。
But the counselor suddenly woke up and chased me out.
I would hesitate to call where we were a conference room, as it was very small and cluttered. The cramped space was packed with lockers, and had the impression that it was more of a change room that doubled as one for smoking. Listening to his crude chortles, I didn't get much of a feeling that Handaya, who was the head of the local public safety division, was much of an intellectual. But I knew that, in exchange, he had both experience and absolute confidence in his instincts.
ご多忙中、突然お邪魔して申し訳ありませんでした。
I apologize for interrupting you during such a busy time.
警視庁から参りました。赤坂と申します。
I'm Akasaka from the Metropolitan Police Department.
よろしくお願いします。
Pleased to make your acquaintance.
公安部の本田屋です。
Honda, from the Public Safety Division.
よろしくよろしく。
Nice to meet ya.
県警防隊の3階部長から協力を惜しむなと脅されておりますので。
I was threatened by Sankai from the prefectural gangbusters to be generous with my cooperation.
防隊
Gangbusters?
県警の暴力団対策本
You
部ですか
mean the Prefectural Crime Prevention Division?
うちじゃ鬼ヶ淵支所の連中は暴力団の延長に位置づけてますんでね。
You see, we're treating the Onigafuchi Guardians as an extension of the local Yakuza.
あれを善意の住民運動だなんてあんた、東城もいいとこですわ。
You have to be a newbie if you think that they're just residential protest group.
Okay. They said at the prefectural office too. That the Onigafuchi Guardians was linked to the local mob. If I recall correctly, the adopted son of somebody influential was a lieutenant in that gang.
そりゃ逆。
Ah.
It's the other way around.
全然逆
The
ですよ。
complete opposite.
暴力団の活動があって、それに住民団体が大義名分みたいにくっついていると、そういう風に考えてください。
The Yakuza put a protest group as a front to justify their actions. Just think of it like that.
逆逆。
Completely the other way around.
Well, Handaya was just about rolling with laughter. This was slightly different than the info given to me at the prefectural office. But somebody embedded locally would be more knowledgeable. While we were talking, occasionally some people who seemed to be detectives would come in and change. One of those individuals, noticing Handaya's guffaws, came up to us. Oishi.
何の話をしてるかと思えば。
I was wondering what you guys were talking about.
おう、クラちゃん。
Oh, Kira-chan.
ちょうどよかった。クラちゃんも入ってよ。
Perfect timing. Why don't you join us?
こちら、はるばる東京の警視庁からお見えになった赤坂警部。
Here's the Inspector Akasaka, who came here all the way from the Tokyo Police Department.
警部だなんて。
An inspector.
まだまだ新米です。
I'm still a rookie.
赤坂です。よろしくお願いします。
My name is Akasaka. Pleased to meet you.
初々しいのがいいですね。
It must be nice to be so fresh-faced.
採用は今年ですか。
Did they hire you this year? I couldn't help but think I was being ridiculed, so I only responded with a forced smile. I could tell that this new person was like Handaya, the type who had confidence in their instincts and experience. I really didn't like those types of people. Yeah.
Akasaka さんにもご紹介します。
Let me introduce you, Akasaka.
こちらは刑事部の大石くん。
This is Oishi-kun from our investigative department.
赤坂さんがお問い合わせの S5 の件なら彼が詳しいです。
Regarding the S file we were talking about, he's familiar with it.
S5?
S file.
園崎の S。
S is for Sonozaki.
S5 ってのはですね、園崎家が関連している件を示す、まあ、暗号みたいなもんなんです。
S is for Sonozaki. If something like an S, if something is like an S file, it means something to do with the Sonozaki family. It's something of a code name. Sonozaki. Come to think of it, I remembered when I was poring over the documents at headquarters, there's quite a few people with the last name Sonozaki popping up.
確か園崎氏は鬼ヶ淵死守同盟の役員でしたね。
If I remember right, there's a Sonozaki who is one of the executives of the Onigafuchi Guardians.
確か会計だったと思いま
I'm
す。
pretty sure they're a treasurer. The two of them were surprised when I rattled off what post the Sonozaki held. After a moment, both of them erupted into laughter.
赤坂さんでしたっけ？
Akasaka-san, was it?
あなた、お勉強家さんで
You're
すね。
quite the studious one.
ひょっとして同盟の連中の主要人物全部暗記してるんじゃ？
Could it be you've memorized all of the central figures in the Alliance?
暗記というほどではありませんが、一応鬼ヶ淵死守同盟の幹部リストは一読しました。
I wouldn't say I memorized exactly, but I have at least read the list of Onigafuchi Guardian executives.
じゃあ会長と副会長は
Then, who are the president and vice president?
会長は現ひなみ沢村村長の君吉喜一郎氏。
What is this, a test? Okay.
The president is the mayor of Hinamizawa, Keiichi Kimiyoshi.
副会長は町会神社部長
The
の
vice
古田氏。
president is the priest of the local shrine, Furude.
会計が園崎を領して、会計監査は牧野氏。
Oh man. The treasurer is Oryu Sonozaki. The auditor is Makino.
教頭部長が君吉義郎氏。
The
広報部長
liaison
が
is
園崎貞夫氏。
Yoshiroshi. Oh, that's a cool name. Bro, that's a cool Yoshiroshi. Kimiyoshi. Yoshiroshi. Yoshiroshi. Kimiyoshi. Bro! Bro. That name, bro. That's such a fun name. The PR head of Sadao is Sadao Sonozaki.
赤坂さん、あなたなかなかやりますね。
Akasaka-san, you're pretty good.
給料安いけど、うちに来ません？
The pay sucks. But do you want to work here?
うちに一番必要で。
You're just the type we're looking for.
で、ちなみに園崎貞夫は青年部長なんです。
By the way, Sadayo Sonozaki is the head of the youth department.
惜しいですね。
So
広報部長は
close.
園崎忠
The
敬。
head of public relations is actually Tadaka Sonozaki. Feeling like I wasn't being complimented at all, I started settling into an uncomfortable mood. However, I was becoming more and more aware that I was the weakest link in this investigation, so I just had to bear with it. I didn't mean for that feeling to show up on my face, but the crafty detectives didn't let that slip by. Yeah, keep laughing at me.
バカにしたつもりはないんです。
I didn't mean to make fun of you, kid.
お詫びと言っちゃなんですが。
To make up
なんで
for
した
it,
ら村を実際にご
why
案
don't I
内しま
show
し
you
ょう。
around the village? For somebody to feel For someone with no feel for the area like me, it would be a great help. I couldn't have asked for more.
鬼ヶ淵死守同盟ってのは結局ひなみ沢村の対外的な別称に過ぎません。
In the end, the Onigafuchi Guardians is nothing more than an alias Hinamizawa is using to deal with the outside world.
村を知ることがあなたの仕事の近道だと思います。
I think getting to know the village would speed up your work.
いかがです？
How about it? The residential movement, in other words, held influence over the whole region. So the leader of the movement was the leader of that influence. Just like that, the thought processes in the region would become the overall personality of the movement. Just like Oishi had said, in order to learn what they were really like, this regional force behind the dam protests, getting to know the village was the quickest way.
よろしくお願いします。
If you would. Nodding back without skipping a beat, Oishi laughed in satisfaction and stood up. I took the information I learned at the prefectural office from Hondaya.
Handayo.
To heart. If my position was exposed, my personal safety was at risk. The opponent was an extremist group that had no qualms about using threats or violence against somebody. If my personal info was leaked, it wouldn't be hard to imagine that I'd be in danger, whether on job or not. Thinking that, I felt a little nervous.
連中は顔覚えるの早いですからね。
These guys are quick to remember faces.
私と一緒にいるところを見られると多分いろいろあなたのお仕事に差し支えると思います。
If you're seen with me, they'll probably do a lot to hinder your work.
月並みですがね、こいつを身につけておいてください。
This might be a little cliche, but put these on. Oishi handed me an incredibly suspicious disguise, comprised of a baseball cap, sunglasses, and a mask. I didn't want to get all hot and stuffy, but Oishi's warning was probably right on the money. Considering that, I put them on with appreciation. I looked so suspicious that Oishi had to smile wryly.
どこまで話しましたかね？
How much I tell you again? Let's see.
御三家という旧家が村を支配している
To the
という
part
と
where
ころ
you
まで
were
です。
talking about how these three ancient families control the village. The Onigafuchi Guardians was the same as the village of Hinamizawa itself, meaning there was a direct correlation between being an executive in the alliance and being a leader in the village, as Handaya had told me a short time ago. If the village was ruled by three ancient families, then it would mean the Onigafuchi Guardians was ruled by those same three families.
県警の資料には何て書いてありました？
What did the documents at the prefectural office say
死守同盟のリーダー格とかそうい
about
うこ
the
とについ
leader of the Guardians and whatnot? The documents I was using were classified. If I responded to Oishi's question, it'd be a breach of security. However, most likely, this man, I judged, was more well versed in the situation than any of the documents at the prefectural police department. So I decided to answer him.
同盟の会長は現村長の君吉喜一郎と
That the president of the alliance is the current mayor of the village, Keiichi Kimiyoshi. Oishi, upon hearing that, let out a small chuckle. For him to ask like that, and to laugh at the answer, as it was recorded in the documents, meant that wasn't the case in reality.
では君吉氏以外の影の人物がいる
So then,
ということですね。
that means there's somebody else other than Kimiyoshi behind the scenes.
県警の持ついや一般的な情報とは異なり
Contrary to what the prefectural office thinks, or rather, what is commonly known.
君吉のじいさんなんてただのお飾りですよ。
Old man Kimiyoshi is nothing more than a figurehead.
そもそもこの村じゃ村長なんてポスト自体も形式だけなんです。
In the first place, the post of mayor in that village is nothing more than ceremonial.
つまり同盟も村も 本当の意味で支配している別の存在がいる
In other
という
words,
ことですね。
there's someone else in charge of both the Alliance and the village?
それが先ほどおっしゃられていた御三家という存在ですか。
Would that be the three families we just talked about?
まあそのあたりはこれからご説明します。
Well, I'll explain that part right now. All of a sudden, with a thunk, the car suddenly lurched. The paved road had given way to a gravel one. At the same time, the scenery outside the window changed. The Hinamizawa Dam project must be withdrawn. Overthrow the shameless puppet of a governor. The dam will submerge the natural beauty of Hinamizawa. Where's the lie? Where's the lie, though? Protect the village from the unethical dam. Fear the wrath of Oyashiro-sama's curse. Demolish the dam. Those involved must go away. The construction office must respond. The construction office manager must negotiate with us. Signs and banners crowded the roadside. Sweet. Even reading the brush-scrawled words was daunting. It was as though where the road just changed was a border with a different country. Yeah. At that moment, I was startled by a car suddenly braking. Looking ahead, a barricade had been erected. About 5 or 6 protesters wearing masks and helmets to hide their faces were blocking the road, yelling at us angrily to stop.
これは何ですか?
Whoa, what's this? Checkpoint?
Huh? 懲りない連中だな。
These guys never learn. Oishi snorted as he rolled down the window and leaned out.
おいおいおい。あんたらダメだよ、こんなとこで道を塞いじゃ。
Hey, 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 you guys! You can't be blocking the road like this here! As Oshi glared at them with a malicious laugh, they visibly faltered.
道開けてくださいな。
Clear the way!
それじゃ通れないでしょ。
Can't get by like this! Who would have thought this was Oishi's car? That panicked thought seemed to make those lose their presence of mind.
大石刑事の車と分かってればこんなご無礼はしなかったんですがね。
Oh yeah, if we'd have known it was your car, Detective Oishi, we would have never been so rude. Sorry.
大石刑事、いつもの車はどうされました?
Detective, what happened to your usual car?
車検ですか?
Is it in for maintenance?
そんなところです。
Something like that.
台車ってのはどうにも馴染みませんね。
I can't get used to this car they loaned me. Judging by their brief conversation, I guess that they were familiar with the license plate of the car Oishi normally used. Ah. In other words, if they knew the car belonged to the police, they would have hidden the barricade. What they were doing was obviously obstruction of traffic, a blatant crime. And Oishi's not gonna do shit about it.
Who's that suspicious guy?
あんた、顔を見せてくれませんか?
You show us your face.
The man glared at me menacingly. Wearing a mask and sunglasses made me look particularly dubious. Would not showing my face get me into some unnecessary trouble? I turned to Oshi to see what to do.
彼の顔は勘弁してあげてください。
Give him a break.
まだまだ新米でシャイなんですからね。
He's still a little shy rookie.
不審な輩じゃないか確認しようってだけです。
We just wanted to make sure he wasn't anybody suspicious.
最近のひなみさんは物騒ですからね。
Hinamizawa has been in a bit of a stir as of late. Yeah.
Have you looked at yourself in the mirror? The mask you're wearing is way more suspicious. The men and Oishi continued to talk like that, feigning smiles at one another. However, from the beginning to the end, I couldn't get over the feeling I was sitting on a powder keg. Has the number of trucks illegally dumping still not decreased?
オタクたちも本当に朝晩大変ですね。
It's a real hassle dealing with it all the time.
警察の方にもご理解とご協力をいただけて助かりますよ。
The police would understand and cooperate. It would really help.
During that conversation, the barricade was moved, leaving a gap wide enough for a single car to get through. Oishi lightly honked the horn once and began to roll the car forward. I could see the men's antagonistic glares at the back of the car in the rearview mirror.
何ですかさっきのは。
What was that just now?
勝手に行動を封鎖するなんて。
Blocking a public road like that?
もちろん犯罪ですよ。
Of course, it's a crime.
目くじら立てても始まりませんがね。
Of course it's a crime. Still, if you get worked up over that, it'll never end.
連中の主張じゃですね。村内に不法投棄をするトラックが出没するって言うんです。
Those guys, see, claim there's an infestation of trucks illegally dumping in the village.
それを封じ込めるために不審車両を検問してるって話だそうで。
Their story goes that in order to stop that, they're halting suspicious vehicles for inspection.
不法投棄
Illegal dumping?
参拝を勝手に捨てようとする悪徳業者のことですか？
Like, corrupt contractors just tossing industrial waste away?
警察が何の手も打たないから自分たちで自衛するっていう論法でしたね。
Their line of argument is that the police aren't gonna do anything about it. They'll just take matters into their own hands.
まあ、参拝なんて話はどうせ自演だからどうでもいいんですがね。
Well, the industrial waste is just something they're doing by themselves anyways.
自演？
By themselves?
連中うまい作戦なんですよ。
They have a pretty good strategy.
ダム現場にで
You
すね。
see,
工事妨害のために参
in
拝
order
を
to
自
hinder
分たちでばらまい
construction,
てるんです。
they've spread industrial waste over the damn site.
Oh my god. They're fucking crazy. They're fucking crazy.
で、それを悪徳業者のせいってことにして臨検を設置すると。
Then, blaming it on corrupt contractors, they start instituting these inspections.
それで工事車両をいちいち足止めしてチクチクと妨害してるってわけなんです。
There, they stop at every construction vehicle coming through and interfere with them as much as possible.
鬼ヶ淵死守同盟の抵抗運動の一つというわ
So
けです。
then, it's one of the methods of the Onigafuchi Guardian. It's one of the methods the Onigafuchi Guardians is using. Ah,
多分
sneaky.
今の検問でこの車のナンバーが割れましたからね。
With that inspection just now, this car's license plate has probably been recorded.
もうこの先には一切
It
検問
shouldn't
の真
get
似事はない
stopped
と思
from
い
here
ます
on out.
連中も私を怒らせると得をしないことだけはよーく骨身に染みているようですからね。
Those guys know very well not to get me angry.
この車が工事関係車両だと知れるとですね。
I need a sip of water. I need a sip of water, guys. Oh, I'm starting to sound like that rat now. A big fat rat. Oh, yeah. Water is great. Water is good. Ah! Which rat? This rat. The rat that's here. Hey, boss, what are we gonna... That should be the poi boy voice. That should be the poi boy voice. Hey, boss, what do we got to do? Hey, boss, when you gonna feed me, boss? Boss? Hey, boss. Oh my god, it should be... You got it, boss. You got it. That should be the boy voice. Hey, boss, we're hungry. Hey, boss. Hey, boss. man, I'm so out of it. I'm so out of it. I only got 4 hours of sleep yesterday or less. Yeah, I've been busy. But fall should be perfect. I should have... Next month I'm gonna have a schedule. I have to write that down. Navi voice. Hey! Hey! Listen! Hey! 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 So annoying. Fucking wanna... her out of existence.
Hey, boss! Hey, boss! Hey, boss! Hey! Hey, boss!
A schedule?
Yes, a schedule. I'm gonna try to do schedules again. We'll see how that works out. Oh my god, schedules are so hard for me.
See, rumor is that if they figure the car is related to the construction in some way.
散々検問で足止めを食らうばかりか。投石や鉄釘のばらまきなんかも食らうって噂です。
Not only would they be checkpoints, stopping it at every turn, but they'd be throwing rocks and planting road spikes as well.
あなたも身元が割れないようにせいぜい気をつけた方がいいですよ。
It's best you be careful so you're not identified.
公安なんてバレたらどんな目に遭うやら。
If they find out you're from public safety, who knows what you'll suffer through. Oishi was acting like we were talking about something fun. For me, it was no laughing matter.
なるて、どこぞの内戦の国に迷い込んだような錯覚です。
It almost feels like we've wandered into the civil war in the Middle East. That's a good way of putting it, kid. It's pretty much what you just said. Oishi turned to me with a grin and menacing laugh.
ここはね、戦争地帯なんですよ。
You see, this here is a war zone. The car slowed down a bit as we went down a narrow road through some farmland.
あそこの森の中に家があるのが見えます？
You see that house over there in the forest over there, right over there?
古い感じの。
That antiquated one. Looking where Oishi was pointing, it was certainly an old, traditionally designed house.
あれが村長の君吉のじいさんの家です。
That belongs to the mayor, old man Kimiyoshi.
君吉本家とも言いますな。
You could say it belongs to the main Kimiyoshi house as well.
分家筋が多いですから。
That's a lot of branches, but
御三家の一つにあたります。
They'd be the one of the three families.
御三家。
The three families.
ひなみ沢村を支配している旧家ですね。
The ancient families that control Hinamizawa?
そうそう。
So.
で、もう一つが古出家。
And one of the others is the Furude family.
こっちは分家どころか、もう神主一家しか残ってません、ね。
Their house doesn't even have a single branch. All that's left is the head priest family.
ちょうどあっちの方にね。
Right over there, there's the shrine.
そこの神主をしています。
He's the priest there.
ちなみにね、死守同盟の事務所はその神社の敷地内にあります。
By the way, the Guardian's office is on the grounds of that shrine. The office of the Onigafuchi Guardians. If these guys were the enemy, that would make the shrine their stronghold.
そこを見ることはできますか？
Can we go over there?
神社は古出家の私有地でね。
The shrine is the Furude family's private property, you see.
警察といえど、令状がないと踏み込
Being
めません。
police, we can't set foot there without a warrant.
電柱のバックには村の息のかかった議員もいますからね。
See, they've got a member of the diet with ties to the village backing them up.
警察にも強いところと弱いところがあるってことです。
Being the police has its strengths and weaknesses.
御三家とは言ってもですね。
Yes. Should we talk about the three families? Yes, sure.
Well, yeah. Well, even when we talk about the three families,
そりゃだいぶ大昔のことなんだそう。
there's something from a long time
大
ago.
昔はその御三家ってのは合議して村のいろいろなことを決めてたらしいですな。
Back when those three families used to hold councils to decide things about the village.
ということは、今は違うということですね。
Meaning it's different now.
あんた いちいち察しがいいですね。
You've got a pretty good nose.
さすが高学歴。
That's what I expect from an academic. The car braked into a halt with a squeal. Ahead of where we were stopped were several signs. Private property, beyond, no trespassing. Ah, that's the Sonozaki residence. Beware of poisonous snakes. Danger, turn back. Intruders will be charged an entry fee of 1 million yen. Signs were erected there with things like that written on them. The road was separated from the forest by a chain link fence wrapped around in barbed wire.
私有地なんでここまでです。
Since this is private property, this is as far as we go.
この先は監視カメラがいくつも仕掛けられてます。
There are several surveillance cameras set up further in.
うっかり道に迷いました。なんて論法が通じる相手じゃありませんからね。
Saying that, well, we got lost won't work on these guys.
この先がそうなんですね。
They're beyond here, right? The people currently controlling Hinamizawa and the Onigafuchi Guardians were neither the Kimiyoshi family nor the Furude family, but the last of the three.
ええ。
Yeah.
この先にあるのが御三家の一つ、園崎家。
Beyond here is one of the three families, the Sonozaki family.
ひなみざわ村を影から支配する連中
They're
で
the
す。
ones controlling Hinamizawa from the shadows. Among the list of executives recorded in the documents, the number of people with last names from the three families was quite high. Of course, Sonozaki was no exception. However, at the top was the Kimiyoshi family. If the Kimiyoshi family seemed to be in charge, the rulers behind the scenes were the Sonozaki family. This double-layered structure implicitly told me that this village had both a light and a dark side.
園崎家の頂点は現当主の園崎お涼っていうばあさんです。
The current head of the Sonozaki family is an old lady named Oryu.
園崎天皇なんて呼ばれる
She
くら
has
い
enough
に
clout that
そ
you
の
could call
発言
her
には影響力があるそうで
Empress
す。
Sonozaki.
気をつけてくださいよ。
Be careful.
大物です。
She's no small fry.
師匠だって最敬礼でお迎えするような VIP ですからね。
She's enough of a VIP that even the mayor of the city has to bow before her.
まあ、ひなみ沢と周辺の町に住む村の親族の数千の評伝を固めてるわけですから。
Well,
政治家は頭上がらないんでしょうが。
well, in Hinamizawa and the surrounding area, their relatives amount to a block of several thousand votes.
Woo! I did not know that.
No politician could show disrespect for that.
つまりその人物が鬼ヶ淵死守同盟の事実上のトップというこ
In
と
other
ですね。
words, that would make her the actual leader of the Onigafuchi Guardians, right?
そうなります。
You got it, kid. With those words, Oishi pulled out a well-worn cigarette box. The suspected kidnapping of the minister's grandchild and subsequent threats. Were these part of the hidden plot by the Onigafuchi Guardians in order to have the Hinamizawa Dam project canceled? Yeah,
あなた、
probably.
東京からはるばる調べにいらしたんですよね。
You came all the way from Tokyo to investigate this, didn't you? Uh-huh.
ええ、
Yeah.
そうですか。
That's right.
何か
Something the matter?
じゃあほら、あれだ。
Ah, then.
犬飼大臣への直訴事件の絡みですかな。
Is it related to that direct appeal incident with Minase Inukai?
要するに、あれで要注意団体ってことで公安がマークすることになったと。
Ah, then. Is it related to that direct appeal incident with Minase Inukai? If that's the case, then public safety has them marked on a watch list?
そういう感じですか。
Something like that.
大石さんこそお察しが早くて助かります。
Having you guess that so quickly makes this easy. While exhaling out cigarette smoke, Oishi smiled broadly, like I'd just pulled a good one on him. Or so I thought. His smile disappeared suddenly.
嘘でしょ。
That's a lie, isn't it? Huh?
だから直訴事件でマークがついたっての。
I mean, the direct appeal putting them on a watch list.
嘘でしょ。
That's a lie, isn't it? Oishi knew there was no way that Tokyo HQ would dispatch an investigator over something as minor as a direct appeal. If they were to dispatch someone, it had to be for a more dire reason. He had figured out that much. Yeah, I thought of myself as the type of person who doesn't let things show on their face. In front of his watchful gaze, however, I felt that what I was thinking was completely laid bare. Oishi silently lit another cigarette, as if waiting for me to interject during this awkward pause. I see. So this was a veteran detective's way of getting someone to spill information. But as long as I realized this, there would be nothing more. If I didn't open my mouth, I didn't have to lose anything. All I had to do was stare out the window and enjoy the scenery until Oishi gave up.
あなたって人は本当に隠し事が下手な人です。
本当に You really are bad at hiding things, you know.
そういう素直で初々しいの。
Being so young and earnest isn't so bad. Oishi smirked as he twisted out his third cigarette, while I tried not to let him notice that I had yielded completely. At first, I thought I had won, but at the very least, Oishi had ascertained that I was hiding something, meaning that I might have ended up marching to his tune. Yeah. Oishi started up the engine once again and began to move the car.
素直なところを教えてくれりゃもっとお力になれると思ったんですがね。
If you'd just been honest with me, I thought I might have been able to help you.
素直に話したら
How can you
ど
help?
う力になれるんです？
If the cat was out of the bag, might as well use it to catch some mice.
内容によりけりですがね。ひなみ沢界隈に詳しい情報屋に引き合わせてあげてもいいですよ。
Well, this depends on what we're talking about, but I might be able to set you up with someone who's knowledgeable about the goings-on in Hinamizawa.
協力員ですか？
An informant.
そっか。
I see. Is that what you call it?
どうして私の任務に興味を？
Why are you interested in my case?
大石さん。
Oishi-san.
そりゃあんたと同じです。
Well, I'm the same as you.
常に知るのが私たちの仕事じゃありませんか。
Isn't it our business to know things? Being able to meet with Oishi's informant was an extremely compelling opportunity. We were looking to recruit somebody similar with the area to collaborate with for intelligence. In the end, there was no better method for finding people than asking. We were always taught, however, that the rank-and-file police were no better than monkeys. Unlike us, they were careless with confidential cases. We looked down on them like they'd run their mouth off in a drunken stupor. They probably would. Oishi was an outlaw, even amongst them, and here I was lost on whether or not I should tell him about the kidnapping of the minister's grandson.
その情報協力員はどの程度鬼ヶ淵自主同盟に精通を？
This informant, exactly how knowledgeable are they about the Onigafuchi Guardians? If you're from public safety, you'd know, wouldn't you?
そんなの私の口からたとえあなたにだって話せるわけないじゃありませんか。
Something like that is something I can't just tell you. Protect your sources. Great. Now, it was the first principle of dealing with confidential information. In that regard, it seemed that Oishi wasn't one of those monkeys. Should I trust him, ask for his help, or not?
あなたは国。私は金に雇われてますがね。
It's just that you work for the feds, and I work for the prefecture.
私たちの職務はそう
I
大
don't
きく
think
は
our
違わ
jobs
な
are
いと思
that
ってい
different.
ます力になれると思う
I
ん
think
で
I
す
can be of
が
help.
ね
However, I had trouble believing that this crafty old man would simply help me, just like he claimed. Now, how should I go about this?
It's midnight, and I'm very sleepy. So I'm gonna stop here. I am extremely tired. I am falling asleep because the car sounds in this game. We gotta quick save. I'm gonna go here and double save. Yes, save. Save. Yes. Sleepy time. 5 more minutes. It's so comfy. It's so comfy. I'm going to bed now. Good night, everybody. I'll send you guys somewhere nice. Thanks for being here. Thanks for donating. Thanks for chilling out. I'm going to play a game coming up that I have not seen a lot of people play. Actually, 2 of them. Prey is on the list. And then, what's the other one? What's the other one? No, that's not. RoboCop? Yeah, RoboCop. I want to play RoboCop. It looks fun. Yeah. Yeah. No, not Xbox, right? 2017 Prey. I think. 2017 Prey. There's more than one. 2017 Prey! Yes. So, yeah. We'll see. We'll see if I can get to anything. But yeah, I want to play RoboCop. It looks so fun! It looks so fun! Oh, that is it. That's how he really sounds. No, that stupid robot shit. Okay, so I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna send you somewhere nice. So, bye-bye. Let's just